Teron Armstead was at an offensive tackle symposium. He was talking to one of the ladies I love more than most.
Kay Adams?
Kay Adams.
I worked with her.
What?
Yeah.
What?
NBC Sports Radio.
I love Kay Adams for a multitude of reasons.
Kay is a hardworking woman.
Multitude of reasons I love.
Who I don't think gets the respect that she deserves, because I think people just think because of her, how pretty she is, that's how she gets the work done. But she's a really hard worker.
Yeah, she was great on Good Morning Football.
She was great on yes, she was great on.
And now she does her own thing and does a great thing, and absolutely love her.
Up in Adams.
Yeah, Up in Adams. I follow on X and stuff like that. It's always a great follow. She was actually talking to Teron Armstead, and of course, Tua came up. Came up in conversation with Teron and Kay Adams.
Do you think he deserves to be paid on par with the best in the league?
Of course. Yeah. No, it's gonna happen. Of course, we stay out of the numbers and negotiations, but it's gonna happen. We need Tua to go anywhere that we're trying to go. All our dreams, goals, and aspirations is reliant on number one. And the Dolphins know that, the organization know that, the city, the league. So the way they iron out the numbers, all that negotiation gets tough in contracts.
Yeah.
Teams start to bring up bad plays, bad games, injuries. You start to get offended. Like, oh man, that's how you really feel. But it's leverage. And once you peel back those layers and you keep it about the business, it'll get done.
So Teron Armstead kind of calming everyone a little bit, saying it's going to get done. It's just one of those things. There's a lot of details. There's a lot of minutia. There's a lot of back and forth. But it's, once again, a player coming out and saying Tua should be paid. He is our guy. He is not just a great player. He is a great leader. We heard Tyreek Hill say that last week. Teron Armstead now saying that. Of course, Teron, a wily vet. He's been around for a while. He knows what he's talking about. But yet, the organization has yet to offer Tua that big deal. You think Teron Armstead is speaking the truth right there, that it's going to get done? Everybody knows it's cool. It's just one of those negotiation things. Or do you think
I think it's done already.
You think it's done already?
Yeah, I just think they're waiting for Tuesday to announce it, because we've been to the locker rooms many times in practices. Isn't Wednesday usually the day that the quarterback talks to the media? And it just so happened that the first day of Dolphins practice is a Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying.
Okay, well, maybe to complicate things a little more, of course, Teron making us feel better that, things are going to get done. Tua, the Dolphins, long-term relationship. ESPN's Jeremy Fowler weighed in on the situation, and he recently said, quote unquote, the Dolphins got a little spooked by the growth of salaries at the position. He says 2 major contracts changed the landscape drastically this offseason. Jared Goff signed a $212 million contract with the Lions. Trevor Lawrence is now tied for the league's highest paid player at $55 million.
But this is where the BS starts, Cousin. Jared Goff has been in the forefront of the resurgence of the Detroit Lions in the last 2 seasons. Okay? The Detroit Lions were on Hard Knocks 2 years ago. They almost made the playoff 2 years ago. And they still knocked off Aaron Rodgers and Green Bay Packers to stop them from making the playoffs. But they finished with a 500 record that season.
Mm-hmm.
What happened the next season? They got to the NFC Championship game with a chance to win. With a chance to win the NFC Championship game. So if Jared Goff already had proven, we look at his resume. His resume is pretty damn good. You know what I mean? A Super Bowl appearance, 2 NFC championships, and resurging a city, a fan base. Like we didn't know there were that many Detroit Lions fans since Barry had retired. Now you have Detroit Lions fans everywhere. Detroit Lions games are must-watch TV now, according to the NFL. They have them on primetime games as much this season, a lot this season. So therefore, Jared Goff deserved it. Now, Trevor, I don't know about Sunshine. I know you had to pay him, but everybody from that draft class, Kuzan, he's the best and he's been mid. Everybody else has been caca. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know I don't think Jacksonville was in a position where they can't give him the extension, but knowing what the market is, and if you're a smart team to me and you have the people that handle the money. These are things you should see. You know what I'm saying? This is something you should have seen from last year when the contracts were being offered and quarterbacks were signing that extension. You had to see that money was going to go up. So therefore, if you don't want to go and go over your limit, pay that man now.
Well, Chris Fowler says he's a little spooked because of these high prices, but he's kind of backing you up a little bit. He further goes on SportsCenter to say this: I think things could heat up starting next week, meaning this coming week. Miami gets back to training camp and negotiations and negotiators are all in the same building. They can sort of recalibrate, figure out their game plan. But my sense after asking around is they were a little spooked by the ballooning quarterback market with Jared Goff, Trevor Lawrence pushing that $55 million per year mark, because now Tua can say, hey, look, I led the league in passing last year. You wanted me to show I'm durable. So he played a full 17 games. That costs a lot of money. So he's saying maybe now that everybody's in the same building, they can finally start hashing out some of these details and getting everything going. That does actually kind of make a little bit of sense. Continue on. So Miami has to come to grips with that. I just don't think they've been in the ballpark quite yet, but they are committed to trying to get it done. I expect around training camp for it to heat up a little bit. So he's saying, Vlad, maybe you're right. Right there, right before training camp, maybe right when they get in the same building, they get it done.
Playboy, let me tell you this. They don't want Wednesday to come and he's not taking first team snaps. You see Mike White taking first team snaps, and you see Tua just on the sideline working out, but not involved in team activities. If this is similar to the Christian Wilkins situation from last year, that's what everybody's going to be talking about during camp.
Of course, that's going to be as long as nobody gets hurt. Number one storyline is Tua in the contract, no matter what. And like I said, unless someone gets hurt. And Teron Armstead, Tyreek Hill, they're the most vocal guys on the team. They both come out and said Tua is our leader, and he's a great quarterback. He deserves to get paid like that. But nothing's happened yet. So Adam Schefter now weighs in.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
So if the Dolphins are afraid of like the market, the quarterback market, and how it went up with the last two, with the signings that Goff and Lawrence did with their contracts, what do you think is going to happen with the wide receiver position?
Yeah, they know they have to pay Tyreek.
Right, and they had to pay. They knew they had to pay Waddle. So, but weren't they looking at the wide receiver market and see what happened with AJ Brown and Justin Jefferson? Or you don't think Tyreek's gonna want? Come on, man! Like, what are we doing here?
Well, what do their actions say? If they pay both Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill and put Tua on the back burner, what are their actions saying?
They saying that they still don't believe in Tua
and that they value the wide receiver position more.
So then have Mike White start.
Yeah, I mean that if you're gonna talk that talk, walk that walk.
Yeah, I don't think you want Mike. Hey man, I like Mikey Blanco for the little time he was with the Jets, but I don't know if you want him to be your starter.
You might not want to hang the franchise on his shoulders, but Adam Schefter make you feel a little bit better if you're a Dolphins fan. Once again, the Dolphins have been very clear they want to pay Tua Tagovailoa. Goes on. The question is, what is fair market value? And that's a moving bar, because a couple of weeks ago, it would have been easy to argue, hey, we don't know what he's worth. The money the Bengals are paying Joe Burrow, which is $55 million on average. But then Trevor Lawrence comes along and he gets $55 million a year on average. So when that happens, the market shifts. So it seems like week one, Trevor Lawrence really messed up a lot of things for this Dolphins organization.
You know what you should do? You should bust their ass. That'd be funny.
This is the thing. When you look at Jared Goff has the track record. He's been to a Super Bowl. Darn near came a play away from going to the Super Bowl last year. He's revived the city. And the other argument is this: the Detroit Lions are legitimate Super Bowl contenders. You can't play around with that.
Fam,
this is your window.
He replaced a legend in that city
that never won a playoff game, but go ahead.
He was they traded him. He was living in La La Land, thinking life was good. They traded him to Detroit. No disrespect to Detroit. Detroit's totally different than LA. He had no problem. He took on the role as being the leader of this franchise. Dan Campbell loved him, supported him. The players out there, they love him, support him, and the fan base have come to love and support him. I can't not be mad that the Detroit Lions took care of their quarterback.
Well, look, it's like going all in a poker game.
Right.
That's their move, going all in. Look, they were this close to going
They
to the
were
Super Bowl.
really close to going
They
to the Super
expect
Bowl.
to be not this close this year. They expect to get in. You can't sit there and say, well, we'll see. You say, everyone's in. This is our year. You have to do that. Once again, the Miami Dolphins, with their actions, what are they saying? We're not all in
On Tua.
But then if you're not all in on your quarterback, how are you going to win a Super Bowl without a good quarterback? Or
If
a
you're
quarterback
not all
you
in
don't
on
believe
your, if you're not all in on your
then
quarterback,
you're not all in.
Are you all in with your coach?
You're not all in with anything.
Because that's what I'm saying. Because the coach has said from the minute he got that job, Tua's been his guy, and Tua's been his quarterback. And you've seen the improvement that Tua's had under the tutelage of Mikey Fit. You know what I mean? I call him Mikey Fit because he's always wearing Nike Fit clothes, so I call him Mikey Fit. For those who are listening, wonder, why are you calling Coach McDaniel Mikey Fit? So, yeah, Coach has done a tremendous job with Tua. That's his guy. Coach has led you to 2 playoff appearances. Seems like to be your guy for a good while. Let him ride with his quarterback.
Adam Schefter goes on, make you feel a little bit better. And so the Dolphins and Tua Tagovailoa are left to figure out what is the proper value for a quarterback of his ability. Look, the Dolphins want to keep him. They're expected to keep him. They're going to get him signed at some point. The question is, what is the number? So where there's smoke, there's fire. You're hearing the Dolphins want him. He wants the Dolphins. It's just they got to figure out a number. Tua wants this. The Dolphins want to pay this. When does it get sticky, Vlad? Wednesday?
It's about to get sticky. No, it gets sticky tomorrow, bro.
Tomorrow?
Yeah. It's actually sticky now. It's sticky icky.
It's not. I wouldn't go sticky icky.
I'm going to tell you why.
I'll say sticky.
It's going to get sticky icky tomorrow because the voice of the Dolphins, Joe Rose, will be here. That's all he's going to be talking about tomorrow.
Okay.
Tobin and Leroy will be on tomorrow, this week, beginning 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. I'll be producing the show with them. I know that's what they're going to be talking about. Hawk and Grotto will be talking about it. Everybody's going to be talking about the Tua's contract situation up until training camp begins on Wednesday.
But is there something to Jeremy Fowler saying these guys are all going to be in the building? They can finally just hash things out. It'll be easier.
But my question is this: do you need to be in the building to hash out something? Can't you just do that on phone? Can't do that at Zoom, FaceTime? We can't meet up at a restaurant and have dinner and talk about it? I got to wait till my player is coming back from whatever vacation he was on to get ready for training camp.
You're probably going back and forth, and you probably say about a week or two ago, you know what? Let's just put everything on hold till we can all see each other in person when we get to Miami for training camp.
Yeah, but you know how many players that agent might have to be going around training camps to go talk to? This is something that should be done now. That way you don't have that headache. Like, think about that, bro.
Well, they couldn't come to an agreement. That's the problem.
But that's because somebody wasn't trying to spend money. Clearly, when he says the market is the market, and now that what you're reading right now explains why he said the market's the market, Miami's not trying to give that man $50 million.
No, that's what Schefter and Fowler are telling you right
there.
They're
trying to give him like the Daniel Jones deal.
The thing that throws the kink into it is not Jared Goff.
It's Daniel Jones.
It's Trevor Lawrence.
No,
it's Daniel Jones.
No, it's Daniel
Kirk
Jones.
Cousins.
Here's the other thing, Cousin. At least Jared Goff and Trevor Lawrence were number 1 picks.
Yeah.
Tua was number 5.
Yeah.
So I can understand giving the franchise quarterback the number 1 pick. Jacksonville let you know they're riding with Trevor Lawrence.
I mean, they've done that twice. Remember the year Trevor Lawrence, after his rookie year, they had the number 1 overall pick that they traded off because they said they were riding with him. So they've proven.
No. Didn't they draft a defensive player?
No, they drafted a defensive player, but they didn't get a quarterback when they could have.
No, they're not going to get another quarterback. They riding with Sunshine. Sunshine's was one of the most highly recruited quarterbacks in like the last 10, 15 years since Andrew Luck. So, yeah, I can understand that. And he won a playoff game for you. He won a division and he won a playoff game for you. Last year, they were 500. They should have been better, but they struggled.
They kind of fell apart.
They fell apart. Maybe it was just that, third season, you just fall apart, but you get back up. But he's got the talent, and he could win in this league.
Yeah.
I don't understand why they're not doing that with Tua.
It makes no sense. Maybe they're just spooked about the price tag, and they realize
spooked about what, bro? You didn't pay Christian Wilkins. You just gave Waddle the money.
They realize that Tyreek is coming down the line.
Tyreek, and then what's next? Ramsey.
Can't keep them all.
You signed Austin Jackson. You know he's there for the next 4 years.
Maybe they're just waiting. They expect the salary cap to go up next year, and they're like, "Look, Tua, if things don't work out, you'll
Yeah,
get
but
paid
you do
next year."
understand next year you franchise tagging him, right?
Possibly,
And then you're gonna have to give him $53 million,
and that goes directly against the cap.
and that's directly against the cap. So do you want to pay? Do you want to be directly against the cap for $53 million?
I'm not that guy. I'm not Chris Greer. I'm not the Dolphins brass. I think they should just get the deal done. The sooner the better, because that, once again, the market, as we've heard, is a moving bar. And I don't see the bar going down, Vlad. It's going to go up. So go ahead, pay him, get happy. Tell all the players that said he should be our guy, we got to pay him. We did what you said. We made you happy. Let's go in there. Let's win some playoff games. Let's get to an AFC championship game. Let's see what happens. That's what I would do. But